afternoon everyone. Today we are going to discuss anti-anginal drugs. Anti-anginal drugs are the drugs which are managing oxygen supply in the blood and the oxygen demand in the body actually. So we are discussing the most of the anti-anginal drugs which we are using, and the topics which we will cover in today's lecture is angina pectoris, types of angina, anti-anginal drugs and their classifications. So first of all, we will discuss what is angina pectoris. This is a principal symptom in which a person is facing ischemic heart disease, a sudden or severe or some pain in the chest. If a person is feeling that is called angina pectoris. It is a kind of syndrome which less than 2 minutes or 2 minutes for a we generally the people are suffering with the pains. So this is actually called angina pectoris. Angina pectoris is a syndromal situation in which a person is facing issue issue with the imbalancing created by the oxygen supply and the oxygen demand for the individual. Okay, usually it happen after the participation in the exercises or after heavy meal or any kind of excitement or when we are walking in the opposite way of wind. This kind of issues are generating. This is very nominal and normal problem which generate. So how many types of angina? Angina are three types. So the first one is typical angina or the classical angina. In this situation, pain is commonly induced by exercise, excitement or the heavy meals. Secondary to advanced atherosclerosis, the coronary vessels associated with the ST segment depression on ECG. So this is a kind of typical angina, a very commonly created issue in the person. Variant angina is the angina in which a position or a situation in which pain induced while person is in a body is at rest. If a person is at rest, suddenly a pain generate, that is variant angina, associated with the ST segment elevation on ECG or secondary to vasospasm of coronary vessels. So this kind of angina is variant angina. This is quite different in variant in classical angina. Classical angina when the body is in movement or in work. Now variant angina is created when a body is in rest. The third is unstable angina. Unstable angina is totally unstable, means anytime it can be either a body is in rest uh, or in the working movement position. So may involve the coronary spasm or may also have the component of the atherosclerosis. The duration of the manifestation is longer than the other ones. So it can create a myocardial infarctions or something else. So this is quite severe than other two. Myocardial ischemia, which produce angina, result from the imbalance in the myocardial oxygen supply and the demand relationship, such as decrease in the oxygen supply or increase in the oxygen demand. Etiology, you can say that what actually anti-anginal drugs are doing, decrease the oxygen supply or increase the oxygen demand. Determinant of myocardial oxygen supply, how can we determine the oxygen supply? Okay, so coronary blood flow we can check, perfusion pressure, duration of diastole, coronary bed resistance. These are the things through that we can, and arteriovenous oxygen difference, artery and venous, how much difference in the ratio of the oxygen. Major determinant wall stress, how much the walls are stressing, intraventricular pressure, ventricular volume, wall thickness, heart rate, that or contractility, that all are the major determinants which determine the myocardial oxygen demand. So now come on the point, what are anti-anginal drugs first. So anti-anginal drugs are the drug which used in the treatment of angina pectoris, a symptom of ischemic heart disease, or we can say that anti-anginal drugs are the managers which are managing the imbalance of oxygen demand as well as the oxygen supply from the environment. So they are just creating the management in the imbalance. So this is a kind of this is a main function of anti-anginal drugs. So first of all we will discuss about the classification. Anti-anginal drugs are three types. The one is vasodilators, seconds are calcium channel blockers, and thirds are the beta blockers. So first of all, we will discuss about the vasodilators. Actually, what are the vasodilators? Vasodilators are the medication which open or dilate the blood vessels. These are just relaxing the blood vessels and dilate them so that blood can easily flow in the veins or arteries, and it can create and it can open the blockage in the veins and arteries, and if the blood will flow easily, then easily oxygen can also be supplied in the body. So they are reducing somehow the blood pressure. Your heart doesn't have to pump as hard to reducing blood pressure. So blood pumping is also slow, okay, and blood pressure is low. The blood pressure will be low because it is widening the veins and arteries. These vasodilators are the drugs or the class of drugs which are dilating, or the actually they are flattened, or you create the space in the veins and arteries so that blood can easily flow, and opening the blockage also, clots also opening. So this is a work which vasodilators actually doing. So in the vasodilators we will discuss the first drug, which is called amyl nitrite. This is very simple compound and the formula is C5H11NO2. It is a variety of isomers are known. So generally pentyl nitrate or isobutyl nitrate, or something else. The 5-membered carbon chain, either branched or straight, can with the nitro group is called commonly called amyl nitrite. Okay. The alkyl group is unreactive in the chemical, and the chemical and biological properties are mainly due to the nitrite group. So NO2 group is completely responsible for the biological activity, and their alkyl group is unreactive. Unreactive means to say they are just providing the support of the NO2 group. So in this drug molecule, you can say the pharmacophore part came from nitrite group and the chromophore part came from alkyl group. It happens generally, it's general phenomena for the drugs, which is the basis of its use the prescription medicine as an inhalant. We are using this drug as an inhalant. It also has a psychoactive effect which has lead to recreational use, with its smell bag being described as a what I'm trying to speak, alkyl nitrite is the initial or the elementary medicine as an anti-anginal vasodilator. So it is the main function will remain same. How can we synthesize this drug? We can synthesize this drug with a reaction of alcohol and nitrous acid. When alcohol and acids are in combining together forming esters. So in this reaction we can say that this is a reaction of esterification, but esters are not forming. Just because the acid which we are using, it is not at all organic acid. This is an inorganic acid which we are using. The acid which we are using is inorganic acid. So when ROH and RH is interacting together, a compound is formed which is called esters. So the reaction is esterification, but forming product is not ester. This is RNO2. RNO2 means alkyl nitrite we are preparing, not nitrate. This is nitrite we are preparing. So amyl nitrite or alkyl nitrite can be prepared by the interaction of alcohol with nitrous acid. Nitrous acid is HNO2. So on the removal of a slight water molecule, an RNO2 is forming. It is a straightforward reaction and can be generally prepared in the ordinary laboratories. Thank you. In the next lecture, we will discuss what else remain in the next members of this drug class, vasodilators, alkyl nitrate. Other than amyl nitrate, we will discuss the nitroglycerin and some other drugs in this class, and then we will discuss about the calcium channel blockers and the beta blockers. Thank you everyone.